Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, talking about if Deshaun Watson can in fact win Comeback Player of the Year.
I think that it's possible, but you have that human element. We talked about that recently with Hall of Fame voting. It's human beings who make these decisions. So, look, MVP is undeniable. I think he's got a better chance to win MVP than Comeback Player of the Year because his comeback year is this year. And Damar Hamlin, all he has to do is suit up for one game, and he's the Comeback Player of the Year, unanimously. Now, if Watson struggles this year and then next year has a great season, maybe. See, it's got to be Deshaun Watson coming back from something other than what he's currently coming back from. So let's say he's horrible this year, and then next year he's great. He's coming back from a horrible 2023. It's an easier sell to make. But if he comes out this year and plays really well, what's he coming back from? He's coming back from a self-inflicted absence due to allegedly aberrant behavior off the field. It's hard to reward him for that. And again, Damar Hamlin's already got it locked up, so it's not going to be an issue. So could Watson win it at some point down the road? Yes, once he gets far enough removed from the perception that he's coming back from the off-field situation that he created for himself. MVP is undeniable. If he's the best player, he's the best player. If he's got the best numbers, he's got the best numbers. If the Browns are the number one seed in the AFC, I mean, that's how it usually goes.
With that, let's welcome in G. Bush, 92.3 The Fan, as well as the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. G, we've talked about this. He could play out of his mind, and I don't think he's going to win the MVP next year as well. You and I have talked about this before.
Stop playing. These guys are really good. If he's the best player, it's undeniable. Sure. I mean, actually, I'll go a step further. Ben Roethlisberger, after his allegations, did he ever win an MVP? I don't think Big Ben has ever won an MVP. So the thought process is somehow that they'd let him come back. I mean, take a look at the guys that they still have not let come back. Colin Kaepernick, bye. The Barry Bonds, not so fast, my friend. Pete Rose, we're not gonna let you in, buddy. Like writers and guys in the media have let's be honest, they have a slant to things. They have a way of looking at things. Some people wanted to put an asterisk besides Tom Brady after Deflategate. Like, the thought process that, if you do something bad, we bring it back. There was a couple of guys that I could remember who got in trouble, came back, and actually came back and were able to make a substantial living. One of those guys is Michael Vick. Now, Michael Vick went to federal penitentiary, and to be truthful, he went for, dogfighting, which, I mean, the animal lovers and pet lovers around the world were like flabbergasted. That's one of the biggest, groups of PETA and those individuals. That's a hard thing to come back from. But he was able to come back and get a $100 million contract. I think Andy Reid helped a lot with that. I think he really turned himself around, and he just basically made a complete 180. But in terms of the accolades, he didn't win an MVP or anything like that. There's very, very few people who come back from those things. You can even go to basketball. Kobe Bryant has one MVP. Was Kobe the MVP more than once? Sure, he probably was. But there's a little thing in Eagle, Colorado that happened that kind of people just say, I don't want to attach my name to that because they just don't want the hassle.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And again, at the end of the day, if he wins games and plays well, none of that stuff is going to matter to him.
Especially if you win a championship in Cleveland.
Yep.
Like, come on. Like, you win a Super Bowl in Cleveland, who cares if they make you the MVP? We'll build you a trophy. You want one? I'll donate some of my money to get you an MVP award. We'll call it whatever you want to. That's how important it is in Cleveland to win. And if he does that, we don't care about the MVP.